Hi, Brock VandenBerg, president of TaliMar Financial and fund manager for TaliMar Income Fund 1. Common question I get is, Brock, how did you get started in managing a mortgage fund? And the answer, honestly, is I kind of fell into it by mistake. I first started my career as a junior analyst for a private equity fund that was investing in real estate debt, similar to what we were doing. Had a really good mentor when I was there, spent 5 years at that company. We were primarily focused on residential investments. And so 2000 hit, the umbrella or the parent company decided it wasn't something that they wanted to be involved in. And so they shut down our division. Found myself on the street looking for my next opportunity. Two things happened simultaneously. First, I started to attend some real estate networking events, met up with a couple real estate investors who were buying houses at the foreclosure steps and from banks at the time. And one thing I did was save money. And so I started lending money to these investors to buy these houses. Now, I didn't even know there was a business behind this. I just thought, wow, they're going to pay me a lot of money for my money, so might as well do it. Did about a dozen of those transactions, turned out really well, and I had friends and family invest alongside me. And then at that point, I figured, heck, this is kind of a business. And that started about 2010. I then grew the amount of investor capital that I had. By 2020, we had gotten to about $50 million in total investor capital. At that point, it got just too big. I couldn't find individual investors for every single loan. Became chaotic. So we decided to launch what is today TaliMar Income Fund 1, bring all that investor capital, put it under one umbrella, and be able to lend it out. So as of today, June 2024, we've raised over $80 million for the fund. And knock on wood, we should be at $100 million by the end of the year. I mentioned back in my story, there were two things that happened. First, I attended these networking event. And then, by the way, that networking event was the SDCIA event, the San Diego Creative Investor Association event. Great event if you're here in San Diego to attend. Great way to network with real estate investors. How I got my business started. So it works going out and networking. But the other thing that I did was I actually worked for the FDIC at the time as well, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, a government organization that insures your deposits at FDIC-insured banks. And again, it was a great experience, spent about a year and a half there. And essentially what I was responsible for doing was to manage the loan portfolios of banks that the FDIC had taken over. So I would go in with my team on a Friday evening. We would shut down a failing bank. You probably have kind of read about some of the stories that happened late last year, early this year with some other banks recently that have been shut down by the FDIC. But I essentially did that and go ship out to different parts of the country, shut a bank down, take ownership of the loan portfolio. We would re-underwrite those loans. And then either if there was an assuming bank at the time, those loans would go to the assuming bank, or we would cut them up and sell them off to the private market. So that's kind of how I got started, fell into it, kind of to where we are today. It's interesting because this industry has changed so much. When I first got started funding hard money loans, it was kind of a mom and pop, kind of, not a lot of structure to it. But if you were to go today, you've got some of the biggest investment banks now involved in this industry. It's really kind of come together. I wouldn't say I use the term more sophisticated, I guess. And, now big national hard money lenders are able to securitize this debt. All that tells me is the opportunity in the industry continues to grow. It is so much bigger than when I first got started in the business. So excited about the opportunity. And that's my story. If you found this interesting, go ahead and give it a like. Also, subscribe to our channel for more content similar to this. We post a lot of stuff about investing in trust deeds, mortgage funds, some of the loans that we originate. Thanks very much.